So apparently Toriko was delayed today. Usually it comes out at like 6 to 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. at the latest, my time, sometimes. And so seeing how Toriko didn't come out until like 9 p.m., almost 10 o'clock p.m. my time, I'm like, what the hell? So I'm sorry for this review of Toriko being a couple hours late because, well, for one, I was taking a nap and did not even realize it came out until I got up from my nap, of course. So, just letting you know, please forgive me for that. And also, I will be getting up my Manga chapter review as well later tonight, so get ready for that one as well. So, let's dive into chapter 348 of Toriko. Okay, so, the chapter, the pacing, holy shit. Just holy shit. I'm so glad we got to see the 7 beasts. Like, I'm so glad we got to see them, get to see the struggle of the Gourmet Knights. I'm so glad we got to see the struggle of them. I mean, we got to see the aftermath, of course, but we didn't get to see what really happened. Like, you know, we could have had individual chapters focusing on their character development and fleshing them out. You know, it just been a really cool way to show, like, their inner struggles of what they had to do and accomplish, and seeing how that was kind of just, like, I don't know how to feel about that. But also, you have it to where Komatsu in this chapter, he cooks all the ingredients, besides another, of course, but he cooks all the ingredients. Now, we do know that these ingredients are kind of like, you know, they're not the original, but they're still the main course, the food course of Acacia. So, to see how Komatsu just cooked this all, like, off-screen, I'm like, are you, like, what? Like, what? Now, I do know we have individual arcs going on right now with the different areas for everybody collecting their own different ingredients. So, I understand maybe Shima is wanting to take the time to kind of show those arcs and those areas, and then when Komatsu cooks them, it'll allow it to where we get to see them in their entirety. Because I know that since these aren't the original ingredients, like these are like off-brand, you could consider this, you know, food course right now off-brand of the main food course. We could assume that they wouldn't have been as spectacular if, you know, they would have been in their original entirety, where Komatsu cooked air, what we saw for the first time. So I'm going to assume that that is kind of why the ingredients got off-screen, but it's still kind of upsetting, because that's a really important moment for the series, because that's something that we've all been dying to see for a very long time. If you've been reading Toriko for many, many years, now I haven't, but I know there's many fans out there that have been with the series since chapter 1, and if you hear about these ingredients, you know, air, pear, news, god, you know, center, you just hear about all these ingredients, and all of a sudden when we finally get to this point where they're all in one area, and it kind of gets off screen by Komatsu, and like no time flat, I could see where that might upset some readers of this chapter, but I don't really have no comment, because maybe that's why that was kind of off screen, to save it for the other areas for we can have their own individual arcs. Now, another thing too is we get no more information on Ichiru at all. Like, he's not even mentioned in this chapter, which is kind of sad, because with the last chapter we got with Don, Slime, and Ichiru, I'm like, are you gonna finally reveal this information? And we didn't get it, so I'm like, so that kind of sucked right there, but I mean, I guess that's going to be saved for later in the arc, because we are entering the soul world right now, and we're about to find out its true form or something. Because if you look at the chapter title, according to the translation I read of Toriko, if you look on the bottom of the chapter, it says like the true form of the soul world is, or something like that, somewhere close to those lines. So I wonder exactly what that is really trying to imply, and we might finally get our answers to what really happened to Ichiru's soul. Where is it as he really dead? And also, we might finally get to see that Komatsu, you know, Frosh type scene, because we do know she has been giving him all the information. She has been the voice whispering to Komatsu since the very beginning, because he says he heard a voice in the entire time as he was cooking the different ingredients in this chapter. So, that was officially confirmed. We can kind of throw that off the table. If you had any lingering doubts that that was not, you know, Frosh, then that just got dissolved. Like, we now know that it is her giving Komatsu the information he needs to cook all these ingredients. So it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, for him to be able to cook it fast, I guess it also makes sense, since, you know, the food spirit also had previous experiences with cooking these said ingredients. So that's about it. I mean, the chapter it was a good chapter. We also have to wear, like, the golden cookware. It was also finished. Like, we have a bunch of it, like, finished, and then you have it to where it took many, many years to make, and then it was carried over to the chefs to where they're about to enter the back channel or the soul world. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about this week's chapter of Toriko? How do you feel about it being a little bit late? And how do you feel about that pacing just being a little bit way too fast for certain scenes? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.